Hello my good friends, it is Chaos Angel here, also known as Lord of Omni, and we are back at it again with another video, but this time we're going to be doing things a little bit differently as we are going to be talking about the things that's going to be coming in freaking Shadowbringers live letter that is coming in a few days. Yes, we're going to be going over my thoughts on what I am looking forward to as far as some of the changes that's going to be coming and making a little bit of some predictions, but not really predictions, more so just my wants. At least a couple of things, if not one or two to three things that I want for these jobs. Some of these things may not make it inside the game, but hopefully what I asked for may end up happening, and it will be a big surprise if it does. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get into them in order. So first, we start off with the Paladin, and the one thing that I am looking forward to changing is Flash. One thing that I am looking forward to with this is that if possible, we can get an actual new move altogether and replace Flash with something that's a little bit more efficient, where it would actually do damage on top of being able to generate more hate or amity in the long run, pretty much generating that aggro in order for it to stand out amongst the other tanks. Flash has been quite the topic of debate on certain things whenever it comes to actual aggro generation and DPS capabilities, when amongst other tanks they all have something that deals damage and generates aggro at the same time. And even though we have been given Total Eclipse, which essentially has made everything peachy with us being able to finally deal some actual AoE damage to all of the higher level mobs in higher level dungeons and what have you, it does not have that capability of actually generating aggro. So it would actually be nice to actually give Total Eclipse the ability to generate aggro, if not that, move it to where Flash is so you can actually get it early on, or give replace Flash with an entirely new AoE that does damage, on top of the fact of being an actual aggro move, an AoE aggro move. And now moving on to the next part is a gap closer. It would be very nice for the Paladin to finally get a gap closer and join the club of all of the other tanks getting gap closers nowadays, and giving it that full Legend of Zelda feel, and essentially giving the Paladin a sort of jump attack like gap closer. It doesn't have to specifically be that, but in the long run it would be very nice to actually give it something that closes the gap, gives it the upper echelon, the advantage of being able to drop on the enemies and pull when they need to, and so on and so forth, and will actually help out when it comes to rotation. And yeah, it would be very nice if Paladin had that sort of love too. So let's give it a gap closer. Do you mind? Do you mind? I hope you don't. Let's see it. And now we move on to the warrior, and the only thing that I would like to see added into this is something brand new, something fresh, something that is more so than just fell cleaves all day. Let's put a little bit of extra stuff within to the warrior's kit and add on top of the fell cleaves and what have you on their whole entire kit as far as that is concerned. Other than that, there's not really much to really add on to warrior that I can actually find in my mind, as I don't really play it as much as I would like. But other than that, one thing that I would like to see new is some actual new attacks, other than being able to just spam fell cleaves and various other things all day. Sure enough, being able to clock them with a few punches is real nice. I will not blame you on that, but we need to look a little bit further within the beast that is the warrior and channel it even further in order to freaking just devastate the enemies that are going about within the first. And that's all I look forward to. So that's all I got in mind for the warrior. Let's move on. Now for Dark Knight. one of the biggest things that I would like to see is my Dark Aura back in action. Can we please give this job its aura back? Can we please have it back? That is the one thing that I want back ever since I first saw it in the job action trailer for Heavensward, and it is still not seen the light of day. Can we please receive it back? Oh, Square, oh, Yoshi P, can we please? All the Dark Knights out here are just screaming for their true edge to come and just freaking ooze from out of them. They want the edge to ooze from out of them, the darkness. Can we please let that happen? Other than that, one of the other things I would like to see is Dark Arcs, the Dark Arc spam being a little bit lessened, and a little bit of a change on the blood gauge, giving it a little bit more of some use, even though it has plenty of stuff within its kit that utilizes it, as far as the Blackest Night, Quietus, Blood Spiller, and not Equilibrium, but Delirium, and what have you. But I would like to see a lot more implemented with the blood gauge, as well as the other gauges for all tanks, for that matter, especially Paladin. As that was one thing I actually miss for the Paladins category. But moving along, we would also like to see something that's a little bit better in the healing department, as it is some of the abilities that it has, as far as Soul Eater and Soul Survivor, are not exactly enough in comparison to what the other two tanks like Paladin's OP Clemency, as well as Warrior's Potent Equilibrium. I would very much like to have a very dedicated healing ability, if not rework Soul Survivor, to be able to use that ability a lot more than what we're able to use it now. As with Warrior's Equilibrium, it can actually be used every 90 seconds, whereas Soul Survivor is 120, and that is kind of pushing it for what it is worth. Now we move on to the White Mage. The one thing that I'm looking for the White Mage is that it actually is given some form of utility in order to better sum up its identity than just it being the go-to healer for heals and the all-out heals and whatnot. And plus, not to mention, work on them confession stacks and that Lily system. That would be nice. Thanks. Moving along, we got the Scholar, which honestly is a perfect job. I actually have nothing that I can think of for this job, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, I am not even kidding. I cannot think of anything for this job. If you could please put something down in the comments that would that you would like to see change for the Scholar, if not added to the Scholar. And yeah, that's about it. Let's move on. Now with the Astral Ocean, the only thing that I'm looking forward to with the Astral Ocean is its abilities. As far as its DPS capabilities are concerned, I would like to see some dots. I would like to see some dots all over the place. I would like to see more AoE dots, if not at least one, because it has none. Plus, not to mention, if possible, if we could just move gravity to like a lower level, possibly in a similar level to that of White Mage's Holy, that would be amazing. That would be nice. I know it may not happen, but you just can't help but want to try and ask for some of these things. In the long run, it most likely will not happen, but there's no reason to not ask. You never really know, you know? Moving along, the Monk. Now, as far as the Monk, I actually have a friend that can better explain what it is that I am looking for, and that what many people would like Monk to have. And so I think I'll just go ahead and pass it on to him. By any chance, could you help me explain exactly what we would like for the Monk?
Get that bitch a cannon. Bitches love cannons.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. That's about it. That's all. That's all, folks. Now for the Dragoon. Can I please get a spear that pierces my enemies from the heavens? I will be happy. Now for the ninja. To be honest, I really don't have anything for this job. This job is just the same as Scholar. Like, Jesus, it's kind of baffling, guys. You've already done so much for some jobs here and there. Good on you. Keep up the good work. Now for the samurai. Now, honestly, the only thing I could really ask for is some even more Aijutsus. By any chance, could it be possible that we could get something similar to how the Dragoon works, where we can actually go further, where we have a move after the fact when we do one move, and it connects to another move? Even though that would feel too similar to the Dragoon, they can implement something to make it more unique in some way, shape, or form. But I could probably see them just building off of what is already existing and giving it a couple of new moves here and there. Probably just one new ultimate attack and just one usual attack that will be within its rotation in the middle of 70 to 80. And that's about it. I can't really see much of anything that they could truly do to Samurai, as it's in a similar spot to what the new jobs from Heavensward had when it was transitioning into Stormblood. So with that in mind, it's all eyes and ears, guys. It's all eyes and ears. All eyes and ears. Now we got to the Bard. Again, another job that is just so good that I cannot think of any possible thing that you can do to even, like, what in the world could you even do? Place it in the comments. Speak your language. Give me some options here. Your thoughts, peoples. We need some ideas. And other than that, that's about all. I really have nothing for the Bard. It's just sitting in such a good place with the Ninja and the Scholar. It's just so amazing. It really is amazing. And I can't wait to see what they have in store for us in Shadowbringers. And now we move on to Machinist, and honestly, the only thing I could think of that they could really do to fix this job is just everything. Do everything that you can. At least do something to the heat gauge. I just can't get over the heat gauge and the implementation around the kit, around its kit, to really even do all of what it's supposed to do. And even though I would figure it out, it's just it's a job. It is a job, and I just cannot. My brain is dead thinking about this job, and I just can't work around it. I just can't work around it. We now move on to the Black Mage. And the only thing that I would like to see is my burst. Can we please get the oh so fable burst in the Black Mage's kit? Because, my lord, I would like to cause more mass destruction and chaos, just like Shantoto. And so we move on to the Summoner. Can we crank up the summonings and, I don't know, maybe summon something like Phoenix? Or better yet, fucking Shinryu? Or maybe the present Eggies that we have can transform into their primal state and unleash their ultimate attack upon my enemies. Can we have that? No. No. Well, we'll just see when the time comes. Hopefully. Now for the Red Mage. Oh boy, this job. Yeah, can we move certain abilities around first? Like, for instance, Verflare to a better position where for newcomers that are playing it to actually have like at least some inkling to how the job will work later on, as well as reinvigorating the job itself once it gets to a certain level, and then you'll be able to understand what you'll be able to do at level 70 and then even further to level 80. With that in mind, that would be nice. Also, if we could possibly get some more AoEs, would very much appreciate it. Okay, thanks, bye. Now, for the last two jobs, which are the new jobs that will be within Shadowbringers, the only thing that I have to say is just, I want them to stay true to the jobs of what they are pretty much being inspired from. Even though, technically speaking, Gunbreaker is based off of something that's not technically a job, and it's more so just based off of the weapon. The Gunblade that presently the only person that traditionally uses is Squall Leonhardt, and let me just say, this is a job that I just did not think that I was going to really expect or really imagine me wanting, other than Samurai, Dark Knight, and Black Mage. Never before did I think that I was going to find myself wanting a job again over the other jobs that I've experienced thus far. It's baffling, and that's one of the things that I love about Final Fantasy XIV, is that you never do expect what will come next and what you may want and may possibly want in the future. And being able to play literally something that's from Final Fantasy VIII, that's based off of the one character that has the one weapon that is the sexiest and most badass weapon I've ever seen to ever exist in a video game, bar none, is literally coming to Final Fantasy XIV. And the one thing that I asked to be implemented in this job is for all of the limit breaks to be present, even if you exclude Lionheart, as long as you have all of the other abilities that is part of Squall's limit breaks within Gunbreaker's kit, I will be happy. Give me Renzo Kukin, a freaking epic multi-hit attack similar to Carve and Spit. Give me Rough Divide, the perfect gap closer for such a job. Fated Circle, possibly the best thing to be an AoE aggro ability, or at least an AoE DPS move that can just melt down fucking mobs, an aesthetically pleasing move. And then last but not least, Blasting Zone, a powerful single target attack that can fit oh so perfectly for Gunbreaker's ultimate DPS attack, similar to Holy Spirit, Fell Cleave, and Blood Spiller, you name it. Everything in Squall Kit is already there, and I just hope that they will be able to just see some of these abilities and just add them in. I really hope that we'll be able to see these abilities in the job action trailer for Shadowbringers. I just wish upon that happening, guys. I wish upon that happening. Dancer, I really am hoping to see some unique mechanics being made for this job. At least one unique mechanic that's pretty much makes it stand differently from the other jobs, which is typical for Final Fantasy XIV. All of the jobs have their own mechanics and their own inner workings that make it what it is. And that is what I would like to see for Dancer. Even though whenever I see the job trailer for it, as far as the overview, it does have a little bit of an inkling to how Bard will most likely play, but in the long run, I feel is that the only difference that you'll probably see from Dancer is that instead of giving it just one buff for dance, it will give different buffs for whatever dance that you use. Depending on the dance that you use, it will give a different buff to all party members as well as yourself. And in the long run, it will be a very interesting job. I cannot wait to see what it will have in store, what they will have in store for us in the couple of days that we have left for the live letter that is the battle system maintenance on battle system changes. And boy, is it gonna be quite the wait. We have made it here, guys. It is here, and this is all that I have in mind for what I look forward to for the actual battle system changes. I can't wait to see what they have in store for all these jobs. One of the things that I am highly anticipated for is Gunbreaker, Dark Knight, Samurai, Black Mage, Bard, Dancer, and very well the Dragoon, amongst most other DPSs, healers, and tanks. But I just can't wait overall for everything that we will be seeing in the game entirely. And so with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts, and I can't wait to see what everyone else thoughts will be on what they are looking for each job and what they are anticipating for Shadowbringers overall. With that in mind, you guys take care. You have a very nice day, nice night, nice morning, nice afternoon, all of that nonsense, and peace out.